What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the On the PRST Podcast. You know, on this podcast, we like to connect with movers, shakers, entrepreneurs, anyone that's on the path and on their journey on the pursuit of building amazing things and putting people together by motivating and inspiring them. And this week's guest is no different, man. I'm excited to bring somebody from my hometown on the pod. Without further ado, man, let me introduce you to Royce Veal, man. Yo, super excited to have you on, bro.
Yo, I'm excited to be here, man. And just watching you do everything that you're doing on that side is definitely inspiring. So, you know, shout out to you and everything that you got going on, man. Just keep going. There's a lot of people watching that you don't know. So just keep doing it, man. You're an inspiration for real.
Yo, look, I really appreciate you, bro. I'm at a place where I'm in a place right now in my life that I'm taking all of the flowers.
Take them.
What I want people to understand is that it is okay for you to accept a compliment. You know what I'm saying? So if you're listening to this or if you're watching this, you know, if someone gives you a compliment maybe today or they gave you one yesterday, maybe you'll get one tomorrow. Say thank you and receive that and absorb that. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, bro, I appreciate you. But the podcast ain't about me, bro.
I know. It's about me. That's why I'm here.
It's about amazing guests just like you. And, you know, we're coming off of amazing weekend and amazing event that you put together. And that's the Boss Talk event. Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about that. I want to get into that. But before we get into that, why don't you share with the viewers, share with the listeners a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what you're passionate about, and then we can kind of take it from there.
Yeah, so my name, again, is Royce Veal. I'm out of Boston, Massachusetts, born and raised Dorchester. But I always like to say I'm from Boston, never claiming just one side because I'm always over Roxbury, Mattapan, everywhere else. I would really consider myself to be a serial entrepreneur. Being I've had multiple businesses, I still have multiple businesses that are operating themselves. And my most successful business has actually been basketball training. And with that, I've been able to take basketball training along with my brother and my god brothers and a couple of friends. We was able to start that back in 2012, you know, and we really shifted the culture with it. 2016, we opened up our first facility. 2019, we opened up our second facility. 2020, we opened up our third facility. And we just been pushing that brand. It's Next Level Factory. And we've had the opportunity to work with a lot of the top athletes across the country, where they're, you know, the ones that were homegrown or people that are flying into town, you know, looking for a space to work out in. You know, we've been fortunate to actually work those kids out, you know, from a basketball standpoint. Now, one of the things with that is a lot of people get it mixed up. They think, oh, like, you know, I'm so passionate about basketball. And that's never really been the case. My passion comes from helping other people. You know, it just so happens that, you know, I was good at basketball and I know what I'm talking about when it comes to that. You know, so basketball to me was a hobby. So what I did was I took that hobby and my passion for helping other people, put them together, you know, and I became successful with that. Along with my, you know, my brother and everybody else that helps along with it, you know, we've been able to become successful with that. So we're very fortunate to be in a position that we are in, you know, with this particular business. And now as I make this transition, now I'm looking to take, you know, my years of entrepreneurship, like, you know, over 15 years, really 18 years of entrepreneurship, and passing along gems and information to those that are up and coming. Because again, it's about helping other people. And I know what it's like to be an entrepreneur starting out in the beginning, not really having someone to talk to, reach out to, question, or any of that stuff. So I just want to be a guide for everybody else that's looking to go onto their journey. Again, taking their passion, taking their hobby, whatever it is, taking that big idea and turning it into a profitable business, because it's possible. It's possible. So I want to be that person, especially in my hometown, my area. I want to be that person known for that, helping people, and helping the youth in the community. That's the biggest thing, the youth for the future. I'm a strong believer in that. So I want to do everything I can to make sure that next generation is building for the next generation.
So couple things I want to circle back on that you touched on. But before I actually do that, you and I have become fast friends, I would say.
Yeah.
And one of the things I don't think you knew that I think we also have a parallel in is taking basketball as a hobby and creating it as a business. So my first business was actually basketball leagues in Boston. So I threw summer leagues I threw it for 7 years from 2000 to 2006. I had a summer league rocking. Then I had a fall league going down. And then I took a 4-year hiatus because 2000, from 2006 is when I actually started my clothing company. Right. So I halted my basketball business to go knee deep into the clothing game. And then I did another league because the streets was calling around 2010. That was my last basketball league. So having that parallel, one of the main things I want to touch on that you brought up is actually taking a hobby that someone may have and being able to monetize that. I did that. I did that on a decent level, but then I went to another industry, another career path after that, still in entrepreneurship. But you did that at an even higher level, right? Yeah. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you were able to turn a habit by identifying a need in a marketplace, using a hobby or something that was easy or fun to you, turn it into a business, monetizing that business, and then building up into a 6-figure, almost 7-figure situation. So talk about that. How are you able to identify that gap in the marketplace?
So, just to get into the industry, the way that it started, my nephew, a couple of his buddies that I consider my little brothers, they just graduated 8th grade. So they seen me and my brother, everybody else playing basketball, playing college basketball as middle school athletes, and elementary athletes. Once they finished up middle school, they would transition to high school. So they came to us and they said, like, yo, can you guys work us out, help us get better for high school? Us just graduating college, we're like, what? Hell yeah, we can help you. Like, yo, let's do this. Like, we're more ready than they are, but they don't really know. So we definitely want to be that outlet for them. So it's a crazy story because we took them to the gym and we're working them out, right? I tell this story all the time. And we're working them out. And you know how you're eating something if there's a little kid there and they're just kind of like watching you and you like know they want something, they don't want to ask though? That's exactly how it was. That's exactly how it was. So all the other kids, they're watching us work them out and we're sitting there like, yo, we asked them like, yo, do you guys want to work out too? And they're like, yeah. So of course they're naturally helping the workouts. And then from there, every single week, we had more and more kids, to the point where it's like, all right, we got to make something of this. And we did our first camp and we ended up having like 100 kids in that camp.
Wild, bro. That's
crazy.
Wild.
Our first camp, we ended up having like 100 city kids.
That's wild. So that had to be like a heavy indication, light bulb moment that y'all had something.
Yes. And we continue to do that. So we offered trainings like throughout the week, free trainings every like Tuesday, Thursday. Then we mix it up Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever time that we can get inside the community center. Shout out to the Millionaire Community Center, Gallivan Community Center. Those are my guys. Like, if it wasn't for them giving us the opportunity to utilize that space, I don't know where that business would have gone. So again, somebody else giving us opportunity, and we was able to maximize on that opportunity. We seen it, and from there we just kind of kept growing it to the point where we started renting out other facilities. So then we had like 3 facilities going at once, 3 community centers going at once, with 3 different types of camps going on for different age groups, just because the demand was so high. So we always knew that there was a demand, and we wanted to keep growing. So again, we started off being in the local community centers. From there, we started doing like camps where we would bus kids. We was busing kids to the Basketball Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? We took kids. We got coach buses. We took them to New York, to Rucker Park. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was doing that in that capacity. You know what I'm saying? And we were able to engage with the youth and give them something different, give them an experience that normally they wouldn't have. So those first few years that, a lot of people don't see or haven't seen, is like, we did a lot of, I don't want to say give back because we never took from the community, but we did a lot of empowering the youth in our community.
We did a lot of pouring into
the community. Like, that's what we did. We poured into the community. And like, a lot of stuff was coming out of pocket, which was okay with us. We was working. I had a really good paying job. So everything was just going into that, just to making sure that these kids had an opportunity. It wasn't until I decided to resign from my last job that I wanted to go full time with it. Once I decided that, I knew it was going to take off, just because I know my work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know how hard I'm going to work. I know that I'm willing to sacrifice time. I'm willing to sacrifice sleep. I'm willing to sacrifice my social life because I know where I want to be. So if I could sacrifice all those things now, in a few years, this is me back then. I'm like, yo, I'm going to be all set. I'm not going to have to worry about anything. And now today, I position myself where, these facilities are pretty much running themselves. They're on autopilot. And it allows me to do other things because, me and my team, we set that foundation. We grew it. We took it level after level after level until we said, okay, this is running pretty good. What's the next move? What's the transition? And that's what we are, man.
What's up, y'all? It's Brendan Boyd, speaker, productivity coach, and host of the On the PRST Podcast. And I want to talk to you all about my brand new book, The 8 Secrets to Success Playbook. Now, this playbook is jam-packed with all sorts of value. So if you're a coach or a consultant or an expert and you're looking to 5X or even 10X your business, you definitely want to grab a copy of this playbook. I'm talking about conversions, lead generation, high ticket offer, continuity offer, the power of speaking, the power of making a book for yourself, promoting, advertising is all in this playbook. So you definitely want to make sure that you grab a copy. Click the link below, get a copy of your playbook, and I'll see you on the other side. So I find it very remarkable how you were able to identify the gaps, take a hobby that was fun for you, your brothers, friends, install those lessons, instill those lessons, I should say, into younger versions of yourself. Provide a service that wasn't provided at the time.
Right.
Being able to monetize that and grow that.
Right.
And the thing I really want to press upon is what was it that made you see yo, this could be 6 figures, bro. We could probably make 7 figures in this. And the reason why I really want you to talk about this and please be candid, because I want people to understand. There's a lot of basketball trainers. There's a lot of coaches. When I mean coaches, I don't mean basketball coaches. I mean people that are, training people in a gym too, because this also correlates. This also correlates.
Yeah.
And they're undercharging. They do not offer the slate of services.
Right.
And they're fearful to raise their prices, so they can't even. They want to hit 6 figures, but they can't fathom doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I really want you to get candid and let the viewers know, let the listeners know, how are you able to grow this, or what was the viewpoint, what was the belief that this could be high 6 figures on the way to a 7-figure business in basketball training?
Right. So it's crazy when you say that. So now you got to think about, so this is what I've always thought about, and this is how I continue to move forward, right? We got, let's say, lawyers, they go to law school, or doctors, nurses, right? They're in school for X amount of years. It's a long time. For the average person, they're like, yo, I'm not going to school for that long, because they're looking at the years. Now, usually, once they graduate that program or they graduate school, they tend to be making some type of close to 6 figures, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So now, if I take my years of experience of playing basketball, I've been playing basketball since I was, early as I can remember, is 9 years old, right? As early as 9 years old. So every single year after that, that's my years of experience. That's my years of going to school. That's my years of learning. So with the basketball piece itself, I'm looking at, that's what I bring to the table. That's my years of education. I have an education in basketball.
You got a doctorate in basketball.
I have a doctorate in basketball.
To be clear,
you know what I'm saying?
You got a doctorate in basketball, yeah.
So for me to be able to go to college, and play 4 years of college basketball, along with all the previous years of learning experience, hands-on experience, You know what I'm saying? Dealing with coaches in a team environment, myself and a lot of other players being able to be captain. Like, these are roles that we're not taking into consideration. So within this particular business, like, I encourage those trainers that are doing this same business. You can make money. You just got to know your value. You got to know your worth. If you've been playing basketball all this time, can't nobody tell you that, oh yeah, I'm going to give you $30 for a training. What? I'm not doing nothing for $30 unless it's a kid in need that really needs those services. And I know that. You know what I'm saying? The parent has genuinely came to me and said, hey, Royce, or they came to the team and they're like, yo, we really can't afford this. Of course, we show love all the time. That's never a question. But then there's people that can actually afford it. You know what I'm saying? And those are the people that are like, oh, yeah, I'm going to give you $25. It's like, no, you're not. Like, no, you're not. You can go somewhere else. You can go to the Y if you want that type of service, and that's what we got to be mindful of. We're doctors of this game. We're dissecting the game. We're teaching them. We're giving them gems. You know what I'm saying? We're really breaking things down into detail. We're going home. All those years of watching basketball, that's us learning. That's us. That's our experience. And then we have to translate it. And then we have to communicate it to the athlete, right? That's just one piece, bro. Now we got to start talking about the mental piece that goes with it. Now we got to build the athlete up, right? We got to build their confidence, their self-esteem, right? Whatever issues they have going on at home, we have to deal with. Whatever issues that they're having with their parents, we have to deal with it. So now we're not only just their basketball trainers, we're also their type of therapists, right? Let's figure out what they make. You see what I'm saying? So who's it to say that, I can't place the value that I think I'm worth?
100%, bro. Yo, say that one more time.
Nobody can tell you that. Nobody can tell you what you're worth. You decide that every single time. Does that mean everybody's going to pay it? Absolutely not. But that means if they're not paying for it, that means you're targeting the wrong audience. You're targeting the wrong audience. And you have to sit back and say, all right, how do I make this make sense? And then you have to redirect. You have to find your audience. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking for that higher dollar amount, or you treat your business different. You go into a nonprofit state of mind, and now you're applying for grants where you can offer these services for free. So now if you're developing your basketball program as a nonprofit and you're doing the things that you need to raise money or to get grant funding, you know what I'm saying? Or building relationships with, Department of Children and Families, like building relationships with them, building relationships with the Y. Like, again, this is if you're doing it on your own. And that's how you can be able to pay yourself to be able to service people who can't afford it. You know what I'm saying? So there's ways around it. You just have to really be smart, but don't second guess yourself and think that, you have to lower your costs or your value. And that's one of the biggest things in business period when we're offering services, is that sometimes we get scared to charge what we're worth.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I actually came across that earlier today. I actually come across that a lot, but I'm gonna use this quick little example. So I got this master class, right?
Yeah.
And this master class that I created shows entrepreneurs that want to write a book how to make their first band. And for y'all that don't know, a band's 1,000. To make your first band for just pre-selling the book cover.
Right.
So that means you can make your first $1,000 without the book even be written by pre-selling the actual facade of the book as a digital product. So I released it. Well, you listening to this is out. So a potential client sees me posting it, right, in the story. I had a poll out. Would you invest 97 to make 1,000?
Right.
He responds to the poll. I follow up. We're going through. He's like, yo, this is awesome. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, look, you invested $97. You'll make 1,000 minimum in 7 to 14 days if you literally follow the steps.
Right.
And what I'm going to do is if you purchase it, I'll give you the opportunity to resell it as an affiliate. And if you sell 2 of them, not only do you make your money back, well, you actually just made a couple of dollars.
Right.
Because it's 97, you sell 2, it's 100. You just made 3. You got the course I paid you $3 to take the course, and then you're still able to make 1,000. Right. So we're breaking this down. And then when we get to, he's like, yo, send me the link and all of that. Send him the link over. And the first thing he says to me, he's like, yo, I don't mean to ask, man, but yo, do you got a discount code?
For the $100.
For the $100. So I'm like, bro, your affiliate link is your discount code because I'm allowing you to make $50 to infinity times how many that you can resell this product that I'm giving to you for free.
Right.
That you're only going to make $1,000 at. So you have to look at investing into yourself first to then get the opportunity to 2x, 3x, 5x your investment.
Right.
I say that to say there are a lot of people that are dealing with the fear, right, of asking for more, pricing higher, giving more value, feeling like the value that they give should be priced at an undervalue, so they feel more comfortable offering it.
Right.
And what I want people to understand, and I know that you know, so I would love you to talk more about it, is that people are operating on old programming. You're operating right now on programming that has been taught to you by friends, families, coaches, parents, TV, music, your own self-limiting beliefs. You might have been holding on to the same thought process for 10 years, 15 years, even 20 years. Your iPhone updates more than you update.
Right.
Well, your fear is a projection. Your fear is a projection. So if you're projecting on this self-limiting beliefs, how do you expect your clients to want to pay more? You don't even believe that you would pay more.
Right.
So no one's going to pay more. So talk about that real quick, man, because I think it's really eloquent how you put that when you talked about your value, how the value that you put out there. It's like you set that. You know what I'm saying? So expand on that a little bit.
Yeah. So again, like as you go into the value, my man Jason LaPlante, he said to me one day, we was actually at service at his church over at Motivation over in Randolph. And
shout out motivation.
Yeah, shout out Motivation. In the service, he said, fear reveals faith.
Ooh, that's heavy.
I was like, yo, that's deep.
That's heavy.
I was like, yo, that's deep. I was like, yo, that's a good one, Jay. I said, I'm writing that down and I'm using it. And he said, yo, just make sure you give me credit. I said, yo, you got it. I'm going to give you credit every single time. Whatever. So the fear actually reveals faith, which also translates into that fight or flight moment. Now, the reason why you're not getting the price of the dollar amount that you probably deserve, just like you say, you're fearful, and your belief is going to allow you to turn away because you're not believing at its highest level. So now when you got presented with some type of, presented with something at hand, right? So let's say somebody came up to you and, you was offering the service and they kind of gave you like one of these faces like, what? So because they made that face, you're like, all right, cool. Like, all right, maybe I could do it for this amount. One, because you're trying to get that sale. And then 2, now you're second guessing yourself and you're saying, okay, maybe I'm not worth that. So I'm not going to ride that. Versus saying like, yo, that's my price. Like, I'm sorry. Like, there's other things that we could do to make this price less expensive. But for this particular service, this isn't it. I just can't do it for that. And a lot of us get stuck on one of those couple dollars today. And that's what also hurts them. It's like, yo, you don't have to take today's money. If you stick to your guns, tomorrow's money is going to be more. But again, their belief system, their belief within themselves start to run away because they're in fear that they're going to lose this person as a sale or lose this person as a client. You see what I'm saying? So again, that value in yourself, you have to remember like, yo, like this is me. Like, can't nobody tell me, like they can't put any type of limitations on me. They can't put a dollar amount on me. Like I decide how valuable my time is, versus you doing something for $20 an hour, You may say, you know what? I'd rather be home for $20. I'd rather be with my family for $20. I'd rather be with my friends for that $20. You got to make it make sense. And one of the biggest things, like, you know, if you start to really, a part of one of my programs that I teach youth when I go into schools and stuff, right? So I do like these 8-week programs for schools. Part of the program is actually making them understand that the amount of money that you make, there's a comparative advantage that goes with it. One. And then as you start to buy things, you got to figure out, okay, does it make sense for me to actually buy this? Now, if you take the dollar amount and you translate it to time, right? So let's say you bought a pair of Jordans, right? Let's say you make $20 an hour. Let's say you bought a pair of Jordans. It's $100. All right, we're just gonna say $100. Maybe not one of the classic retro Jordans, but we're gonna say $100, right? You make $20 an hour. It takes you 5 hours to be able to buy those Jordans. So those Jordans, that's 5 hours of your life. That's not $100. That's 5 hours of your life. And you have to say, okay, do I want to spend 5 hours of my life on that? And that's where you start to think and you start to put value on things. Don't put a dollar value, put a time value. Because money we can always get back. Time you can't. So time is one of the most precious things. Like, you know, I like to say, like, you know, there's there's 3 things that we can't get back in life. One of them is time. Next one is the same opportunity. So we got time. Hold on, let me get this. Time, the same opportunity, and our words. So time, we all know you can't get that back. It's gone. Those few seconds I just talked about, that's gone. That's time.
Yeah, it's fleeting. It's fleeting.
Right. It's gone. Same opportunity. So if you had an opportunity, let's say to buy a house, right? You could have bought a house today. Could have been renting it out today. You waited a week. It's no longer the same opportunity because you missed out on that week's worth of income already.
I told a client that earlier, bro, because I mean, yo, you know, Kyrie. I'm working with Kyrie on something. It's in when this pod is out, it's already out.
Yeah.
It's already out.
Yep.
So it's fine. If you're a coach, consultant, expert, or specialist, there's only 3 things that you need to take you from where you are right now to where you want to go. And those 3 things are this: a roadmap, consistency, and the right coaching. So if you're coachable, if you can follow a roadmap, if you're ready to be consistent, I invite you to jump on a call with me or someone from my team, and we can lay out the play to get you from where you are now to where you want to go. But I'm going to be honest. Not everyone is ready. This system isn't for everyone. This is only for someone who is ready and willing to be committed, who can follow a roadmap, and who is coachable. So if that someone is you, I invite you to jump on a strategy call with me or someone from my team. We'll lay everything out for you. All right? My name is Brennan Boyd, and I'll see you on the other side. But I met with Kyrie about a week ago. I gave him a play to run. I said, yo, you can kick this off tomorrow, bro. You only need low-hanging fruit to kick it off. So it's been 1, 2, 3, 4 days. But then I bumped him again. I'm like, yo, is it out? He didn't.
Right.
But he didn't get to actually put it out.
Right.
He just texted me while we're on the pod. Yo, 3 people interested. Of course they are.
Right.
Of course they are.
It could have been 9.
It could have been 9. That's the point. That's right. The point, bro.
So that's why it's the same opportunity you can't get back. It's a different time frame at that point.
It's a dud at that point.
Right.
So, like investing is the same way. Investing is the same way. You can invest at today's price today.
Right.
And then if you don't make that play, you lose that opportunity. You can still invest, but maybe that number is or a triple or quadruple, which is still a good price on that day.
Right.
It's gonna double, triple, quadruple again.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
I love how you put that, bro.
You know, and then the last thing, your words. And that's why you say, like, you know, in the 4 agreements, like, you know, be impeccable with your word. So if me and you are having an argument, right? We're real close, whatever it is. If I say something that's just off the wall to you, right? And it's like, dag, like that was a low blow. We may make up, right? Oh yeah, it's all love. But in the back of your mind, that's always going to replay.
Yeah, 100%.
And you can't get that back. No matter how much you say, yo, I'm sorry, forgive me, you already put it out there. It's out there. You said it. I heard it. I received it. Now It's in the back of my brain. So now when you say certain like slick stuff, I'm looking at you a little different. You know what I'm saying? So again, I always like to talk about those three different things, and it's very important. So I always say, like, again, your time is more valuable than a dollar amount. When you go to purchase things, when you go to make investments, you have to say, it's going to take me this amount of hours of my life to be able to get this or to be able to see this through. And you got to be comfortable with that.
100%. It's like people should walk around, and maybe we should create an app that gives you a dollar time equation. So you can be okay, you know what I'm saying? That might be fire.
Right.
Because like you said, now you're looking at things differently, but you're really looking at things how they should be looked at, which is everything is an investment. Because at some instances, you only think you're making a dollar investment when you're really making that time investment. But then when you really look at it, you're making a dollar times or a dollar plus time investment, depending on what you're going to be doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I came back home, right? So I did the math in my mind. I'm like, okay, I'm coming back home. I'm gonna do this event with Royce, which we're gonna get into.
Yes.
Do this event with Royce. But while I'm doing this event with him, I get to be home. I get to see my family. I get to spend time in familiar places, get recalibrated with the city where I'm from. But I'm not getting paid. I'm spending bread.
Yep.
So I have to spend money and I have to spend my time.
Yep.
Is that worth it for me, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what people should be thinking about, right?
Right.
And like you said, it's either going to be a dollar spent or it's either going to be time spent. Which is that investment worth it for you?
Right.
And for me, it was, because you and I got a chance to strengthen our relationship.
Yep.
I got a chance to check in at the crib. I planted a seed. That seed sprouted into other financial opportunities, right?
Yep.
So then it's worth it. Right. So people have to look at not the short-term view, but the long-term view. And that goes again, like you were saying, you spending that $100 on the J's, obviously not the retros, but you're spending $100 on the J's, which equates to 5 hours. If you're making $20 an hour, is that 5 hours really worth it for you to get a liability?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Crazy, bro.
Exactly.
Crazy.
You like that, huh? That was fire.
Crazy, bro. So yeah, man. Let's talk about boss talk a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about boss talk.
What I want to press upon with the boss talk is the origin and why it matters so much right now. Why are you so passionate about helping these entrepreneurs? Why are you so passionate about doing this level of work? And why is now the most important time for you to do that? You know what I'm saying? And what's next? Because we're going into 2022, which is a heavy manifestation. I don't even want to say manifestation. I'm gonna say realization, because we spent time manifesting in 2021. So 2022 is all going to be about realizing the manifestations from last year. So why now the most important time for Boss Talk, and where was the origins of you wanting to create Boss Talk?
So for me personally, the reason why this is a good time, because the businesses that are set up, they're operating, they're running, they're generating money. So I've been able to put myself in position again over these last 18 years to put the businesses in position where I can generate money. Now, these businesses allow me to generate money, so I'm able to cover my expenses, for this particular time being. So personally, it makes sense for me right now, today. It's important to me right now because of everything that's been going on these last couple of years. As far as, the pandemic, with the youth. The youth out here is struggling to either get jobs, keep jobs, and all the other things, just because, you know, they're visionaries. A lot of them are visionaries. Like, you know, they see something bigger for themselves, and they see it at a very young age. And just to go past the youth, there's a lot of my peers that I know that I've grown up with, and they're like, yo, like, I have like this crazy idea, but they won't take that leap, you know? And it's like, all right, well, I probably wouldn't take the leap either if I wasn't able to see it firsthand. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't have somebody that I could talk to about this to see if it makes sense. Because every idea is not a good idea. Or can I talk to somebody who can make my idea into a good idea, or make it where it can make money? Like, you know, so these are those different things that go into play. And a lot of people with the jobs, they're being forced out of their jobs for whatever reason. Like, you know, where the vaccine, or just overstaffed or shortage or whatever, they have to lay people off, whatever it is. Like, you know, it's a tough time for employment, where a lot of jobs are starting to open up now, but now people are in a comfortable space where it's like, yo, like there's no loyalty. So it's important for me to figure out my own, because I become a disposable person to any company. And I think everybody needs to understand that, you know, that you become disposable to any company. And even from there, like when you start to run your own business, that's kind of how you gotta envision your employees like that too. It's like, yo, at some point I may have to fire this person, and I may have to replace them. And you gotta be comfortable with that as a business owner, you know. And having our own as a community, developing brands, developing businesses where we actually have our own, where we can, you know, get it out to our people is very important. I don't believe in that, you know, 24/7 grind every single day, 7 days a week. Nah, like that's not good. That's not good. It's good for short term. It should be a temporary thing, so that way later in life you can actually enjoy it, relax, chill with your family, go to different events and different things like that. That's what you should be gearing up for. So if you're saying, all right, I'm going to use my 20s and my 30s to really build something, you know, and create something for my family, for my kids, that's what you should be doing. So by the time you get 40 plus, you should kind of be coasting, in my opinion, if you set things up. You know, not everybody has that opportunity. Some people start late, which is okay. But you don't want to spend 8 hours working for somebody else and not spending 8 hours building for yourself. If that company shuts down, then what? Then what are you going to do? You got to figure it out. So it's very important and you don't even have to run a full-blown business. Like, you know, we talk about the 3 different types of entrepreneurs at Boss Talk, right? We talk about your side hustle. We talk about your self-employed entrepreneur. And we talk about your business owner entrepreneur. Develop a side hustle. Come up with a product. Put it online. You know what I'm saying? Get it out to everybody that you know. And make it something where you can continue to make other products off of it, or offer products that may relate.
So yeah, one of my favorite things is the diversification of your assets.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So like, for instance, I got a high level product, but then a lower level product is literally from that high level product. And then, then an entry product is from that mid level product.
Right.
But it's all the same product.
Right. So that goes, like, you know, when we talk about multiple streams of income, that's multiple streams of income.
And you're niching down, you're in the same niche.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like for you, basketball, right? You could do the training, the one-on-one. You could do basketball retreats. You could have a basketball guide. You could do an online course. You know
exactly.
There's so many different ways.
Selling merchandise.
You could sell the merchandise. You could do a show.
Right.
Basketball podcast. You talk about the therapy. You can have the mental aspect of the game. There's so many different ways that you can take what you currently have and diversify the assets. And there's nothing wrong with an entrepreneur stepping into another industry and creating another bag. But look at the industry that you're in right now, because maybe you can diversify that horizontally, or niche that down, refine it a little bit more, and see how you can get 2, 3, even 4 bags with what you're currently doing right now, which is that service that you're currently offering.
Right, and that's one of the things that, you know, I've been able to do with my basketball training business is I've been able to scale it in that way. Like, and it wasn't until this past year where I said, okay, this is it. I was like, all right, I think I got it now. It wasn't until just this past year. So even all those years of me doing it, I just figured out, okay, this is it. This is the formula where now it's just going to generate money.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it takes time, but now it's set up in a position where we have these multiple streams within the same business. We're not venturing off to nothing else. You know what I'm saying? But again, an average person, and this is why it's important for me to be who I am, who I'm aspiring to be able to show people how to do this. And that's why it's important for me to exist, or people like me to exist, people like you to exist. It's like, yo, this is the way to go about it. And we're passing on our learnings, passing on our teachings to help somebody else come up. There's no crabs in the barrel on this side, like at all.
Not at all. Not at all, bro.
We're reaching back, we're pulling everybody up with us, and we're going to continue to grow it. Everybody's going to win. If we all win, like, who going to stop us?
100%, man. So what do you see for the Boss Talk? So obviously I had the opportunity to be there and kind of keynote speak that situation.
Yes.
Listen, y'all. He invited me to speak, and he was like, "Yo, so you're closing this month? You closing this down?
Closing this out?
You know what I'm saying?
You got it."
So, what do you see for this? Is this going to be a quarterly thing? Is this annually? Are we talking retreats? What's the formula for people to get excited and look forward to when it comes to Boss Talk?
Yo, Boss Talk is so major. Like, you had a chance to experience it yourself. And everybody that got to experience the first one, they left with so many gems. They loved it. We're on email back and forth. They're getting direct access. We're updating them on what's good or what you should be doing for your brand, different things that we have popping up. So, Boss Talk is really, really big, and I'm excited to see where it continues to go. And shout out to, one of my biggest mentors, Brian Edwards. And he is such an inspiration to me. And he's been guiding me along the way throughout this whole journey. We started doing what we're doing with Boss Talk right now, right? We did this already. We planned everything out already for another business before the pandemic, right?
Then because you told me that you was about to make that move. You was about to be in a whole other climate, you know what I'm saying?
Right. We were just switching
speeds in a whole situation.
Right. And then the pandemic happened. Everything shut down. It's like, man, we'd have had flights booked, supposed to go to this place, meet this person, take pictures with this person, get on this news station, email these people. We had everything laid out. And then everything shut down. It was like, dang. But you know what? I always kept it. We always stayed in touch. It's like, all right, once everything opens back up, stuff get popping, we'll revisit that. What I realized was that was preparation for everything that I'm doing right now.
It's always preparation, bro.
That's all it was. It was preparation for everything that I'm doing right now. It didn't go that route because it wasn't supposed to. This is what I was supposed to take that energy from, and I was supposed to put it all into this. So Boss Talk is very important, and Brian Edwards has definitely guided me throughout this journey. And it's going to be something major. And the biggest thing about it is when people are able to subscribe to the community. So we're building a community of entrepreneurs, that is a part of this Boss Talk thing, where you're tapping, twice a month. We're tapping in twice a month. We got a special guest speaker helping you out with your brand. We have specific topics. We'll talk about marketing, strategy, organization, just building out your business, building out your executive summaries, everything that kind of aligns with the business plan plus more.
So this is virtual right now?
Yeah. So this is virtual. So the people that have access to it right now are the people that came to the Boss Talk event, and they were the VIP members. So they're the ones who have access to it right now. It's going to be going public in a month.
So basically, you're listening to this podcast, or you're watching this podcast. It's available right now.
Right.
So where can they go to tap into it if they're listening live right now to the podcast?
If you're listening now, you can go to RoyceVeal.com. All right, RoyceVeal.com, and you're gonna hit the drop-down menu, and it's gonna say Boss Talk Community. You just go in there, you subscribe to it, and then you're part of the conversation. And you're getting busy with us. You're learning with us. You're growing with us. You know, we're doing everything together. You got a support system. You know, you're going to meet other entrepreneurs that you can reach out to, come up with ideas, really build this community. It's going to be a huge community. It's going to be huge. And I'm very excited for it. So that's the main piece that goes with this Boss Talk. The fun piece is the live conferences. That's the fun piece. Because you get to come, you network in person, you get the presentation from all the speakers. Myself, I'm up there on stage giving gems based off of my 18 years of experience, and just pushing everybody through. So those live conferences that we're going to be doing are going to be quarterly. So it's really like a quarterly check-in type of thing.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you have all of them, God willing, of course. You know, that way you can get everything. And then from there, we have our Boss Talk dinners.
Oh, we going to dinner, y'all.
We're going to dinner.
Is it formal? Is it a formal style situation?
Yeah. So we're going to get dressed up. We're going to do it right. We're going to look good. We're going to eat good. And we're going to talk business. You're going to get a seat at the table. All right. It's dinner with bosses. That's what we're calling it, because we're all going to be bosses at the table, looking to pass off knowledge, meet in person, network, see how we can help each other out. And that's what it's about. I'm real serious about building this community, because I know a lot of people don't have access to mentors. Somebody who can actually push them and guide you.
So in real time, we're looking at this right now.
Yeah.
Because I like how, and maybe you already got this set up, but just how my brain works. You talked about how they can go to royceveal.com.
Yep.
Down, click Boss Talk.
Yep.
Right now, it looks like bosstalk.us is available, which is kind of sexy.
Right.
You also got bosstalk.me.
Yep.
You got bosstalk.life.
Right. I got the other two. I got .org and I got .net. I gotta get the rest.
Gotta get the rest, because we want them to be able to hit the domain immediately and get them kicked over right to where they need to go.
Right.
Yo, that's dope, bro. I like how you bringing it all full circle with the monthly situation, right? The live talks, the virtual live talks. Obviously, they gonna get tangible assets to walk away from and implement and execute. Then they got the quarterly physical meet and greets.
Yep.
And they're gonna get poured on for more entrepreneurs, get more tangible assets, more applications for them to apply. Then they can hit over to the Boss Talk dinners, which is a more intimate setting, one-on-ones, breaking bread. You know, like I said, being more intimate, being more organic,
asking as many questions as you want,
and actually breaking bread over food in a business setting. And then you dress like a boss. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. We come and dress. The cameras are there. Everybody's out. You know, we looking good. We pulling up good. We eating good. It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
So yeah, man, that's amazing. And like I said, I had the opportunity to fly back home and being part of the first one. And you know, there was a lot of good energy in the building. You know, you shared a lot of experiences, and you gave a lot of knowledge, and so did a lot of the other speakers that were there.
Yeah.
And you had a lot of entrepreneurs in there that were taking notes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the people that were there wanted to be there, and they were there to learn and to be poured upon, so then they could actually implement.
Right.
And that's something that I also want to ask you about is the the actual intention of application. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So touch on that real quick, as far as like, you know, being someone that's searching for that one thing that might make a difference, or being someone that, you know, consumes, but don't apply. You know what I'm saying?
Application.
So talk about the power of application.
All right. So again, I have basketball training facilities, right? So I'm going to compare it to gyms, but we're really going to compare it to like a Planet Fitness, right? So Planet Fitness, your regular Planet Fitness is probably going to sell like 8,000 memberships in that community. They can't fit 8,000 people inside their space. You see what I'm saying? So they have that set up that way because they know everybody's not going to go. So they oversell their memberships knowing like, yo, everybody's not going to do this. Everybody's not going to come to work out. It's a good idea, you know, and that's what keeps those businesses running. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to keep spending money with somebody who's giving you all these different ideas, all right, then you just want to consume information or you just want to be around these people. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want to do, because I'm gonna take the money. You know? But if you're trying to work one-on-one, and I'm the type of person that's like, yo, I like this, but I'm not seeing no progress. Like, I want to give this opportunity to somebody else. So I don't want to work with people in a one-on-one setting if they're not applying things. So when you go into these different events, when you're hiring mentors, you sign up for these different programs, you're getting all this online coaching, right? And then you're not applying it. You're not doing nothing. Again, if we translate dollars to time, right? You're not doing nothing but wasting your life away. You can be doing something different. Just continue to work your regular job and do something that you love doing. But even then, this might be something that you love doing too, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? But if you're looking to really grow within the entrepreneur setting, or even just grow within a job, because there's nothing wrong with that either, you got to apply the things that you're paying for, or just the free knowledge. Go apply it. Be more and want more for yourself. Don't just take the information and hold on to it. There's this saying, like, knowledge is power. It's like, no, knowledge is not power. Knowledge is power with application. So you can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you're not applying it, it means nothing. There's homeless people out there who have had masters and doctorates. You know what I'm saying? If we're talking school education, they have knowledge to be able to survive. They just don't have the application piece. So you can't have one without the other if you're looking to be, successful. And success meaning, some type of financial success or some type of growth within life. Those are the different types of success, or whatever that success means to you. But again, this could be something that you love to do. I just love buying coaching programs just to learn to have knowledge. That's okay. Spend your bread with anybody who's offering whatever service that you like, or spend your bread with whatever coach or mentor that you like. If you just like the things that they're saying. We go to the movies all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, treat it like a movie. We're going to give you a show. We're going to perform. We're going to deliver. What you do with that information is on you. Me, I'm the type of person, I watch a movie, I'm looking to get a message. I'm looking to learn. So therefore, I can apply it to my real life. And that's how I take in every movie. When I'm listening to music, I'm like, all right, what's the message in this song? Like, everything to me is a message. I'm looking to learn. I'm looking to educate. So therefore, I can apply it. Drake being my favorite artist is definitely my favorite artist. Of course, after Jay-Z, I always have to say that. Jay-Z is like Jordan. Like, he's in a class by himself. You don't even count him. But Drake, right? I know so many of his lyrics. It's like insane. The reason why I know so many is because he has a saying for almost everything out there. So I'm receiving that. And these are good sayings to me. Like, these are good quotables. So when I'm having conversation, I'm like, yo, my man Drake said this. It ain't about who did it first, about who did it right. That's a message.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? So I got to take those gems in, because that's what I'm looking for. Because again, that's going to be constant motivation to push me where I want to go. There's a message in everything if you're looking for it. You know what I'm saying? And then you go apply it. And that's where you're going to see the success that you're looking for. It's not just going to come to you. You got to go actually apply it.
I 100% agree with you, man. You fancy yourself a serial entrepreneur. I would say for me, bro, I feel like I'm a serial executor, bro. I feel like, kind of like what you said, I look at the situations and I'm always dissecting and consuming information, not necessarily from a podcast or for a YouTube or a book or a course. I'm looking at mannerism, characteristics. I'm looking at people. I'm looking at the set. I'm looking at the position. I'm looking at all of that, because these are all things that I could take and I can apply, or I could test out and see what will work for me as I look to progress and move forward. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's huge that you make that correlation when you're listening to music, because a lot of the times there's not a lot of positive things that we can pull out of music.
Right.
People are not listening to music to be, to receive a message. They're looking to be entertained. So, yo, bro, as we close out, one of the things that I am now starting to do is I want to give people more value. So we've been giving them a lot of value. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's been a lot of value here.
Yeah.
But I want to give people a little bit more value on the pods moving forward. So what would you say, what would be a couple of books that you would recommend that somebody could get into? Maybe like 2 or 3 books that might be great ones that really impacted you. Maybe something that you're looking to get into. What would be like, 2 or 3 books that people can either download, hit Audible, or purchase from one of my places, Thrift Books, because they actually reward you with free books.
Right.
What would be a spot, or not a spot? What would be a couple of books that you would recommend?
So within my business, I'm always looking to educate everybody that comes in. Like, I don't take on anybody as like an employee. It's like, yo, now we're like partners. You know what I'm saying? We're breaking bread together. And with that, I know that it comes a duty of me to teach and guide and to educate. So one of the books that I have everybody buy when they come in is 5 Levels of Leadership. That's a really big book to me, because it really tells you where you fall out on that scale, like what level you are, and it puts everything in perspective. Like, if you're on that, that position, leader, and as you continue to grow, and you're not, you don't really reach that last level until you've turned multiple people into leaders. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to do that, I really love that book. That's one of the books that I've actually read. You know what I'm saying? Versus an Audible. It's like, I read this. I took my time with it. I digested information, went back to it. And, I was really put onto that book by my friend, John Lopes. He put me onto that book. And, I took the time. He said it was a good one. I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to read this. And, Jeff Kenner was another one who's a, big part of everything that I got going on too. Like, in the early stages. So 5 Levels of Leadership is definitely a book that you want to get. Another book I'm definitely going to recommend, The 4 Agreements. You know what I'm saying? I think those are 2 very important books. 4 Agreements, what they speak about in that book, just kind of helps you shape the way you think about things, and I think that's important. So again, these are books that I feel like are shaping my mind to think in a broader perspective. Another book that was recommended to me by a very close friend was The Secret. I really like that book because, it really speaks about, the universe and speaking things into existence. And, it's really like the whole belief thing. And those are 3 books that really, really sat with me, that I will always recommend. And not to sound cliche, I know everybody always says, like, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You know what I'm saying? Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it's a really good Audible. I didn't read the book. I listened to the Audible. But it was so good that I listened to the Audible multiple times because there's so many different lessons. And within that book, I could see the way that I grew up and a lot of the things that my dad instilled in us as an entrepreneur. He was doing that, what was going on in that book. And it's like, yo, this is real. So it resonated a lot more. It's like, yo, I've been through this. Like, I've been working for free. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or working for $5 a week. You know what I'm saying? And not really understanding the purpose behind it. And it wasn't really until I listened to the Audible and the book, and I'm like, yo, that's crazy that, I went through that and I truly understand the value in that. So those are actually, my top books. Those are my top 4 books. And I recommend those books to everybody. If you're not a reader, get the Audibles. Like, they have a lot of good lessons in them, and really, 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 really try to take in the information that is given and then apply it.
100%, man. Look, bro, as a fellow entrepreneur, I definitely admire what you're doing. You got my support. We're working on things behind the scenes together. I want to thank you for taking your time to jump on the pod. I was excited to have you on, and I know we're going to do it again in person.
Absolutely. We're going to get a good one in person.
We'll definitely set that up, man. So with that being said, is there anything else you want to share with the people that might be watching or viewing, and also where can they tap into you?
Definitely as an entrepreneur, just somebody that's just watching this, just always remember your why and just stay inspired. Like, the best motivation is always going to be self-motivation. So when you're sitting there, you're like, I really don't feel like it today. Let that be a trigger word for you. Or let those be trigger phases to say, let me just go up and do it. You know what I'm saying? So always stay inspired, continue to work hard. Hard work is always going to, set you apart from a lot of people, but it's never going to be enough. So understand that. You got to actually get out there and do more, and continue to grow and feed your mind and understand the levels of success and grow yourself. Build your foundation and build it after level and continue to grow. They can tap in with me, man. RoyceVeal.com. Definitely check out all the different programs on there. Everything with Boss Talk, from that to helping you build your business plans to, get the 6-figure program, mastery program that we have going on. You can definitely tap in with that. Definitely follow Instagram, Royce Veal, Twitter, Royce Veal 2. All of those platforms, I'm there. So check me out. And I do my best to get back to everybody, especially if I see that you're an entrepreneur. That's like one of the first things I do too. If I get a friend request, I go to your page and I see your business, I'm going to go follow your business. I just feel like that's very important. So I always go follow your business pages, and I always show love. Every time it pops up on my feed, I'm always looking to show love. And that, I think we got to make that like a regular thing as entrepreneurs. There's a lot of us out there. So we got to continue to support, push each other, and keep each other motivated. You know what I'm saying? Keep each other inspired and continue to grow.
100%, man. So again, thanks for jumping on the pod. You guys know what it is. This is the On the Pursuit podcast, where we bring entrepreneurs on the show to share their stories, share their passions, to inspire and motivate you so you can get on the pursuit and do what you need to do and get it done, bro. So I appreciate you tapping in, man. I look forward to having you back on.
No doubt. Appreciate you. Thanks for having me, man.
If you're someone looking to level up in your personal life and also in your business, what if I told you there's only 2 things that you really need to focus on? Number 1 is your routines. If you knock down your routine each and every day, you're gonna be further along in your personal life. The other thing is your rituals. If you knock down your rituals each and every day, you're gonna be further along in your business life. And what if I told you don't have to do this all by yourself? You can be part of an impactful group that's looking to level you up and support you along your journey. What's in the group? Let me give it a sauce. I'm talking about a daily tracker to make sure you stay on point. We read books that impact your life in real time. You get access to a group community where we're there to support one another. And there's 2 group coaching sessions each and every month. And guess what? It's only $1 for 7 days, so you can try it out. And then after that, it's $89 a month. All this value. So click the link below, get in a group. Let's level up your life. Let's level up your business. Let's go to the next level.